Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific. This one, Moana Pasifika going head-to-head with the Highlanders. This is an intriguing kind of game. Both of these sides desperate for a win here. Try and get that little bit more of a boost on the overall Super Rugby Pacific table. Few changes across the starting lineups as well. So it should be an intriguing kind of game. But the first of this round in Super Rugby Pacific, we are already up to round 7, which is pretty incredible, I have to say, at this point in time. But, of course, do let me know who you think is going to win this matchup, the first of 2 games taking place. On the Friday, we got a prediction there from the Warning New Zealand. Has gone Moana 50, Highlanders 3, so he's not very optimistic for the men down in Dunedin. We have got there, good morning from a wet Abu Dhabi, says Zakai there, and up to Moana Pasifika, down the Landers, says Josiah. Okay, so a lot of people going for the underdog in this game, it would seem. But of course, we'll have to wait and see how the match does go for the sides. Looking through at Moana Pasifika's starting lineup, it is Abraham Pole, Sanarevi, and Sai Tau Ufuau in the front row. Pulanaiti alongside Alan Craig in the locking jaw, so no Tom Savage in the starting lineup. Middle Kufailangi, Nico Jones, and Dominic Rapiti will be the number 8. So no Samisi Tupo Loa for this contest. Instead, they have gone with Rapiti as the number 8. Joel Lamb once again gets the start as the number 9 with Jackson Garden Bishop at 10. So Patrick Pellegrini making his way off of the bench rather than in the starting side. Glenn Vaihu out on the left wing. Lalomilo in the number 12 jersey with Latu on his outside. Solomon Alaimalo back out on the right wing, and William Harvili at number 15. For the Highlanders, it is Ethan Agru, Jack Taylor, and Angus Tarval as the front row. Ollie Haig and Thomas Lavanini is going to be there as the number 5. TK Howden, Viveni Lasanga, and Hugh Renton as one of the co-captains. He is slotting in as the number 8. Nick Shearer gets a massive opportunity here rather than Falau Whakatava. Rejan Pasitoa as the number 10, so still no Cam Miller back in the side for the Landers. Jonah Nariki out on the left wing. Tenuelu Talea in the 12 jersey. This was quite a big call as they have decided instead to have Timothy Tavanawai making his way off the bench. Jonah Lowe at 13. Caleb Tangitau, and then Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins, the last man. And the side, let's go Highlanders, says Christopher. And we have got the Highlanders by 2, says Shane. And Pakatava has been straight dropped, according to Tony Johnson, says the Warning New Zealand. Well, they decided that they wanted to try out one of the younger players in this matchup. And I'll be honest, it's something that we've seen many sides try and do. And in some regards, it works up against Moana Pasifika, and other times it just kind of backfires. I feel like sometimes teams go into games up against Moana expecting it to be easy, and then that's when you can get yourself in a little bit of trouble. Good morning, Hamish. I'm present, Mark. The register go Highlanders, says Quandele there. I just bought Rugby 25. Well, hopefully you do enjoy it, and hopefully it was on special, because that game can be quite a frustrating one. We have got the Landers must-win, says Haino. Yeah, this is honestly a must-win game for both of these sides. How's the weather and pitch conditions? About 22 degrees, I think I saw it say just before. Actually, a really nice day at North Harbour Stadium. No rain around. Of course, an evening game, so a little bit of dew might be in there. The big news is no DMAC this week, says Kiwi Rob, because he was going to be playing 15, wasn't he? So does that mean Kieran Tomei Falau comes into the starting side, or are they making some other switch? Probably in the wings, right? And they may make a couple little switches there. They're just showing Jackson Garden Bishop. His debut back in 2017. Matches 59. He's got 80 points. Of course, more predominantly outside of Moana Pasifika for a majority of that man's Cats. Dom Rapeti. I got massive boots to fill. Yeah, to go into a jersey that Samisi Tupo Taieloa has done so brilliantly with, you just get that little bit of a feeling like this is a make or break game for him. No DMAC at all, yeah, so he's out of the 15, but I was more so asking who was going into 15 for the Chiefs. We have got there, I haven't watched you in a while. Well, it's been probably about a week, I would say, since we have had a stream on the channel, or at least it would have been last Monday, or this Monday, actually, for the early morning games in the 7s. But Jordan Way and Jeremy Markey, the assistant referees, Brett Cronin in charge of the TMO, and Damon Murphy, he will be the man with the whistle for this contest. We have got there Tane Tolpiki starting fullback. And Luke Metcalf is back, says ARW. And OMG, not Damon Murphy, says Jordan. But this game has now kicked off, ladies and gentlemen. Moana Pasifika going from right to left and managing to slap that ball back onto their side. Straight away getting some early possession here. Bashabane is good, as his pops proved me wrong, says Shane. And are you streaming tomorrow? Yep, we have got Super Rugby games all throughout tomorrow, as well as the URC, which will also be covered on the channel. Now, loose ball there. Kicked in behind by Vaveni Lasanga. It's going to become a foot race. It looks like Moana will win it with Solomon Alaimalo, but that was a little bit close to a massive mistake there from Moana from the get-go. Do football clubs retire jersey? Like soccer or baseball clubs teams do. If you're talking about rugby clubs, then no. No matter what, you're 1 to 23. And you don't really have a choice in the matter. Other than maybe off the bench, they sometimes like to put a forward as the number 23. But, you know, positionally, you're pretty much where you are. How's the cricket going, says K Slade? We talking about the Black Caps or myself? Now, ball's there for the Highlanders. Going to be the youngster Nick Shearer. Big opportunity for him. There's an advantage in play for the Highlanders. Out to Jonah Lowe. This is the part of the season for the Highlanders where normally the injuries start to set in a little bit. Luckily, well, it's not really luckily, but it is still a relatively long list, but it could be longer. Going off to the left-hand side, Jacob Ratamaitaviki Nepkins tries to be fancy with the round-the-back flick pass, goes straight into touch. He won't be doing that again. Moana now with the line-out chance. Oh, no, in fact, going back for the penalty advantage. So the Highlanders have got the ball. We have got there. Also, where are we? We've missed a couple of them. Garden Bishop was much better when he was at the Rebels. Says the warning, New Zealand. Nick Shearer, Super Rugby Pacific debut here. Massive opportunity to show what he can do. And that's the thing. Jamie Joseph is kind of, you know, he said this is the chance for some of these younger guys to try and put their name in the hat. Looks like the early 3 is going to be taken by Rejan Pasitoa. Now, sitting 6 from 10. 60% kicking accuracy. Of course, the more kicks he takes, I'd like to think the higher up that would go. But this one from about 35 metres out. And that one has missed away to the left. So his accuracy goes down just that little bit more now, 6 from 11. I see a lot of New Zealand rugby media. I really don't want Savia to be captain, says the warning. Yeah, you're in that scenario how at the moment, you know, it's a bit of an interesting one because there seems to be the divide. Some people want to see Savia in that captaincy jersey. Others, unfortunately, you know, there's going to be a couple issues here and there. I would say if he is awarded as the captain. Second we'll go like this and go like that as well. One's going to be kicked up high. Chasing after it is Caleb Tangitau. That's a massive knock on there from Latu, but knocked on by Tangitau straight after. And we have got their morning from a foggy, misty, cool Cape Town. Hamish, says Ruth. Welcome in. D-Mac isn't a 15. Why is the coach of the Chiefs putting him there? And sorry, I put you wrong earlier. Says, wait, so you're saying Damien's still playing 15? Or is he out of the thing completely? Just said there, coming straight off the kneecap. 1 second, we'll go like this. And like that. And that. There we go. You never dropping Scotty, but he ain't Savia, who's a Super Saiyan. Joey Wheeler said he wanted Scott Barrett to retain the captaincy. Feels like some sort of agenda there. Says the warning, New Zealand. Yeah, it seems to be the one about who's going to be that captain. I know that Cody Taylor's name also got thrown in the mix a little bit. Scott Barrett out of the squad, please. Says Jordan. Early errors from both ain't good. Says Hobbit. Yeah, we are still sitting at 4 minutes into this contest and 0-0 between the teams, which I actually think favours Moana a little bit. Because the longer this game is close, the more chance that they've got. And that's going to be a scrum reset. How did cricket go for you and your team, Hamish, says Colin. So if we're talking about last weekend, we actually managed to win the semi-final, played the final the next day and somehow won that as well. We came in as last qualifier out of the top 4 and somehow went on to win the whole thing. What has Scott Barrett done to keep the captaincy? Says Kiwi Rob. I think it depends on what you're looking for because, you know, even Sam Cane being captain was one that was very much debated. And it sounded like he did a lot off the field for the side, which of course people go, well, if it's off the field, it doesn't count because, you know, you only want to see the captain doing something on the field. which doesn't make any sense. Congratulations, Zakai. Thank you very much. But yeah, it depends on what they're looking for. Tana's in the mix now, so to be fair, Savia probably makes sense in that regard. That's a penalty to the Highlanders. Far side was collapsing, so the penalty. This one's probably a little bit closer than the last, and it looks like they've already decided Region Pasitoa can't kick because they've decided to go for the corner. Give the captaincy to someone else, take a fresh look. Savia, a great player, but not as the head of the team. Congratulations, Hamish. Happy for you, mate, says Colin. Yeah, I ended up missing a couple URC live streams last week. And, you know, my batting performance in the final definitely didn't help the side that much or at all. But the Saturday was more my day. New Zealand Rugby want a fresh start. Scott Barrett needs to go, says Kiwi Rob. There's probably quite a few guys you could throw in that same category if you're getting rid of, you know, out with the old, in with the new. Now backline movement. Jacob Ratamatapuki Nepkins gets tackled well by Solomon Alai Marlow. He's actually spent a little bit of time down at the Landers throughout his Super Rugby career. Now Hugh Renton lapping around. Tackled by William Harvili. Who was the Highlanders fullback? Is he Fijian? I believe Jacob Ratamatapuki Nepkins is eligible for Fiji, I want to say. But he has made it clear that he also wants to play for the All Blacks if the opportunity does arrive. Taniwelu Talia now in the middle of the field. They haven't got the Muthi Tavanawai in that midfield, but they have still got Jonah Lowe, who's been a clinical try scorer at times for the Highlanders throughout the last couple of seasons. Now moving away to the left-hand side. Angus Ta'aval goes in behind to Caleb Tangitau. Almost breaks through. Yes, he does. And scores the try. That was a casual put down there, almost like he was jumping down a water slide there, Caleb Tangitau. But try number 1 in this contest. And Will Jordan is my captain every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Bring back the 80-minute captain. Cody Taylor ain't playing 80 minutes, says the Sporting Kiwi. Although he would if he was allowed to. Like, hookers don't normally get to go for the 80 minutes, do they? But I do think that Cody Taylor still has the gas tank to go for 80. It's just they like to use the impact option off the bench. Yeah, someone scored. Yippee, Skippy, so exciting, says Jasmine. But that one has been scored by the Landers, the away side. So the choice of going towards the corner. Seems like it was not too bad of a choice there. Now, Rijam Pasitoa sitting 0 from 1 today. This one a little bit more difficult than his last strike. Jordan is now captain. The only reason he's captain for the Crusaders is because of injuries. So who would be the captain for the Crusaders if it wasn't for injuries, Kiwi Rob? That one has bounced off the post. Rijam Pasitoa makes it 0 from 2. The score remains now 5 points to 0. Shake out brother. What does that mean? I'm not aware of that lingo. Shake out. As in like have a stretch? Is that what that would mean? Or I actually wouldn't know. Genuinely think Paddy T is a better pick for lock and captain than Scooter, says Nate. Nice take there. Havili. So would you say that Havili is your All Black captain then? Or is it just the fact that, like you're saying, that Jordan doesn't have those captaincy skills? They went all right in the game that he captained, to be fair, didn't they? Going off to the right-hand side here for Moana Pasifika around the halfway line. Nico Jones, when are the Bulls playing? They are playing, I believe it's mid-afternoon on Saturday, South African time. And they're going head-to-head with, who is it that they're playing? They might have Edinburgh, mate. No. Lions might have Edinburgh. It's someone like that, though. Now rolling this one back. Been told to use it again. I don't think it's the Dragons either. Who is it that they've got? I can't even think. I kind of want to look it up. But yeah, it's the early game on the Saturday. I don't think Scott Barrett is ahead of Lord Vai Holland or Tui Pilotu, says the Sporting Kiwi. Savia is our All Blacks captain. I will die on this hill, says Kiwi Rob. And the Bulls, says Ruth. This one's going to be high. Nice take from Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins. Again, solid under the high ball. Bulls are playing Munster as their early game. Now this one's kicked in behind. Bouncing awkwardly, but nicely controlled by Pasitoa inside of his 22. And yeah, 2 p.m. kickoff in South Africa for that one. Now right-hand side. High again from Jackson Garden Bishop. Hey, Hamish, who scored for the Landers. It was Caleb Tangitau who managed to score the first try of the contest. Nice work there from Shearer. Back inside of their own half now, the Highlanders, almost on their own 22, almost an interception opportunity for Moana as well. Tangitau trying to go through the defence. Alan Craig finishes off the tackle. Going downfield with the boot, taken inside of the 22 by Jackson Garden Bishop. Already 10 minutes is actually passed in this game. And Garden Bishop doesn't quite get it into touch. Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins looking for a 50-22. Might have got a bit too much on it. It's in the in-goal area, still rolling, still going, and it goes dead. So I'll lose a lot of meterage there. Bulls vs Munster should be a good game. Hopefully, as long as Munster don't do what they did last round, because that game up against the Sharks was really poor from Munster. They lost 45-0 in that match. That was an amazing crowd at the cricket in Christchurch. Take note, Wellington. Says the Sporting Kiwi. Yeah, although quite a few people did leave early. I know that because I was there and watched them all walk out after the Black Caps lost that last wicket. Right, Sunday Revi, he will make his way from the field. And that is going to be for Sam Molly. That number 16 jersey. Please make Savio Jordan captain. So that gives the best chance for South Africa, France, Ireland, England, and even Australia to beat the hell out of them for many years. Says Renegade. And 45-0, yeah, that wasn't a scoreline that anyone was expecting. But hopefully it's woken Munster up and they have a lot better game this weekend. We will be doing the Bulls game. We certainly will be, yep. Sadly, we did miss it last week, but we're going to be doing a lot more of the URC this weekend than last. Bulls fed in. Nicely taken Joel Lamb, I should say, off the back of the scrum for Moana Pasifika as they move to about 35 metres out from the line. And Bodie Captain Easy Pick says they are a underdog. We do the Brumbies game. Not tonight because of that early morning URC start. And also, normally if I don't cover Australian games, they're normally much better than when I do. So I'm hoping that similar to what happened between the Brumbies and the Reds and a couple of the other Aussie derbies, if we don't end up covering it, hopefully it's going to be a really close, exciting contest. Off to the left for Sam Molly, sitting about 10 metres out from the line at the moment. A big collision in the midfield. That was Latu. It's a little bit closer. This is where Moana need to score just to put that pressure on the Landers defence and also get themselves right back into the game. Nice ball to Polanaiti. Gets his offload away. Lamb now goes to Latu. 2 metres short of the line. Nico Jones having to join that breakdown to try and keep it on the side of Moana. Alan Craig doesn't get to score often, and he's not going to get to score here. He's held up there. Brilliant defence by the Landers on their goal line. And it will now be the goal line dropout. Savvy a bit controversial from Scott's days. Get rid of the old stuff. Start fresh. Some players can't handle pressure of captaincy. Says Ruben, killed it all. Let's go the Highlanders. Says Moa Hunters. Welcome in. Hope Bulls can make it. Munster Big Guns playing tomorrow, so I hope my Bulls can win tomorrow. Says Colin. Yeah, although they had a few of those big players in that 45-0 game too, didn't they? Just from the looks of it. Maybe not quite all of them, to be fair, but so there were a few handy ones in the mix for that one. Now going off to the left-hand side. Now pick and go, Alan Craig. Only sitting a few metres out from the 22, but the Highlanders right on the ball. Should have really been their penalty. And it's going to be play on. Jackson Garden Bishop kicking it in behind. This one just rolls into touch. And we have got there. I hope the Bulls can make it, says Paul. And also, how's it, Hamish? Have an awesome weekend, mate, says Anthony. Same to you. And Ratamaitavuki Nepkins, born in Christchurch, raised in New Plymouth. His mum is Fijian, says Sakaya. Now ball's there for Renton. Oh, and advantage in play for the Highlanders. And the penalty is awarded by Damon Murphy as well. That's going to be for 8 blue not rolling. So that is against Dom Rapetti. Holland, Vai, Tuipilotu, Darry Berry. Lord, Sa, all over Scott Barrett. Do you understand why the hell they are playing Canterbury games in the new stadium? What do you mean? Like, as in, like, Canterbury and the NPC, or you're talking about, like, Crusaders games in the new stadium? 3 penalties conceded against Moana Pasifika. It is always the dagger in their side. Caleb is in my fantasy squad this week. What a pick, says Daniel. So who have you had as your captain in your fantasy side? Daniel. One's going to be put up high. Nice take there from Glenn Vaihu. Now back across to the right. Sam Molly. Low chopping tackle on him by the co-captain Renton. Now Lamb with the pick and go. Making good meters at the moment for Moana Pasifika. Lamb goes off to Garden Bishop. Away to the right. William Arvelli tries to fend. Gets the offload on the inside for Lalomelo. We found out Torian Barnes is 195. Like Wikipedia said. Yeah, it's going to be very empty for NPC games, says the Sporting Kiwi. Although there may be a few more who go to the game just to get to see the stadium. Like, it might not be anywhere near as popular as the Crusaders ones, but, like, there might be a few who just go literally to have a wee look around. But who's taken over Apollo Project Stadium? I know that they've got a Wellington Phoenix game there very soon. The one's going to be kicked behind. Risan Pasitoa going up for it. Just knocks it on at the wrong moment. Miracle Whaialangi back in position for Moana. Half-time, says Idris. I don't know when finishes, so this game is still a long way away from full-time. We've got another 24 minutes of the first half and then 40 minutes of the second. Cross kick there, nicely done. Lalomelo pops it on the inside. Harvelli tries to get the pass to Solomon Alaimalo, but it's knocked on, and play on is the call from the referee. Ratamai Tavuki Nepkins almost goes into touch. And they'll go back now for the initial knock-on. Do you think the Brumbies can beat the Waratahs? They should, unless something really surprising happens. I'd say, like, it should be a safe Brumbies victory. It just rubs me the wrong way when your opinions matter, but you work for a French as a Springbok Hearty, respectfully, says AI Underdog. Remember, anybody can write stuff on Wikipedia and update it. I always look at the editing history. Often it's hilarious to see who changes what. £60 coming. £60 coming or no. Who'd you back in this one, Idris? We do see it quite often, people coming in, backing Super Rugby sides and then losing their money. But we'll wait to find out if you pick the right team in this scenario. Now, scrum reset here, 17 minutes into the game. Still 5-0 for the Highlanders. I mentioned a lot earlier on how the closer they can keep this game for longer, the more likeliness they have of being able to somehow get themselves the win. Now another scrum. Jeff Wilson wants Artie on the bench. Pollard versus Crowley should be a good contest. No go Pollard, says Colin there. Hi, all and Hamish. Welcome in. Now flattening out there in the front row. Another penalty. Awarded there to the Highlanders at scrum time. So that penalty count is really starting to creep up for Moana Pasifika. Cam Royard is my captain, says Daniel Cox there. Ooh, okay, so up against the Reds. We have good there. Yeah, 5'11" was ridiculous. A long way away. I've already actually is 5'6", or sorry, 6'5". Same as Tava Nawai. Why not? Why not? Stats don't lie, says Shane. You look well. Wishing you a great weekend, Hamish, says Willow Dance. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you do enjoy your weekend as well. Jack Taylor throwing this line out in. Nicely taken by Ollie Haig. There's a big chance for the Highlanders on attack. This is the first time they've actually been inside of Moana's half for quite some time, but the ball has come out the side, and another penalty awarded there for the Highlanders. A lot of kicks, says the Hobbit. Yeah, it's been a bit of back and forth, hasn't there? No one fully controlling it. Rizan Pasitoa. Set one into touch. The last 5 penalties have all been against Moana Pasifika. The Highlanders, I don't believe, have given away a single penalty as of yet. Thomas Lavanini. Moana giving away many penalties. Yeah, 5 on the trot already. Now Lasanga going off left. Hugh Renton. Good run forth from him. Tangitau off to Vaveni Lasanga. Oh, I thought that he had dropped the ball, but it was actually the headgear of Lalomilo, which was the same colour as the ball. Tangitau may have just snuck in the corner. Now we have got, Moana giving away more penalties. Says Juan Ville, and thank you for the great commentary, Amish. You are the best. Says Colin, do appreciate it. Tangitau says Jordan, he may have just almost scored, but no, they're going back for the initial penalty. Is Thomas Lavanini still a regular for Argentina? Not as much as he used to be. I'm not sure what the go was as to why he wasn't in the mix for last year. Because it was actually a lot more of... What did they have in that locking duo? I think Kremer even didn't have a huge amount of games. Yeah, just dropping that ball as he looked to get it grounded. Caleb Tangitau. Rijan Pasitoa. Need to go for another shot at the post. Currently, it is his third opportunity here, and he has not got any over as of yet. But this one, nice and straightforward. Right out in front of the sticks, gets it through the middle, and that'll make the score now 8-0 in favour of the Highlanders. Is that a try? It was not a try in the end. Tangitau just dropping it as he tried to score it up the wires. Says Zach, yeah, they are going to be playing in the very near future. I was going to win this, says Jason Hamilton. The Highlanders should. They came in as favourites for this game. But at the same time, Moana, if they can stay competitive here and not be down by, I would say, 15 or more, then you're probably in a good situation for Moana in terms of a potential comeback. But they can't afford to be scoreless throughout this first half either. Ball there for TK Howden, and now roll back to Shearer. Let's kick this one up high. Nice take there. Glenn Vaihu tries to sneak through. And back to the right. Going to be, say, Tau Ufuau in that number 3 jersey. On the left-hand side for Vaihu again. This is where Moana, if they can just get some phases going. They seem to be very keen to kick that ball away and potentially the wrong opportunities. That is another one there. Only 8 points, low scoring game. Yeah, hasn't really kicked off fully for these two sides. I want 60p. So yeah, respect once again, who did you back in this game to win? Because you said how much, you said 8 that you're trying to win 60, but who did you back? I assume Moana because of those odds. How's Shearer going? He's looked all right so far. He hasn't had any sort of big barnstorming moment, but he's still done. He's done all right. Kind of done what he's needed to so far for the Highlanders. Going off to the left-hand side, Rapeti passes to Glenn Vaihu. He's driven backwards in the tackle from Tenuelu Talia. Highlanders looking to get through with the counter ruck. It almost ended up popping out on their side, but still with Moana. Lamb's told to use again. Couldn't quite decide what way he wanted to go there, but instead goes short side to Nico Jones. Being told to use it again. He's bought the Bulls over the Stormers. Can I ask why my favourite South African team is the Sharks? Mainly because of Fussy, who I've always rated, says Sakaya there. Now Tangitau running on to it. Doesn't actually get anywhere near the ball, but it's slapped back by the Highlanders straight into the hands of Moana Pasifika over 20 minutes in. It's pretty slow and boring game. That Tangitau try was pretty good, and a penalty too added. But Moana just not willing to run the ball. Keep kicking away. Says Josiah. That one's chipped in behind by Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins. It's a double knock on. They'll go back for the scrum again. He's not looking like a Whakatava and just kicking away religiously, says Jason. Yeah, although the Highlanders have done that week in, week out lately, haven't they? They seem to have some sort of weird tactic, which is if we don't touch the ball, we're going to be a little bit more likely to not lose, but it hasn't really worked that way. They play their best rugby when they're dominating possession, but by kicking it away all the time, they don't actually allow themselves to get to that kind of situation. Sanarevi looks like he will make his way back out onto the field after passing the HIA. So Sam Molly makes his way off. And then I think we're also seeing now Lalomilo. He has made his way off the field, and that is for Tavita Offa. This one doesn't look like it's HIA related. It actually looked like maybe leg injury. Where's the who's going to win voting thing? I probably forgot to put it on, to be fair. Going off to the left-hand side, Jodanariki kicking this one in behind. Nicely taken by William Havili. A little bit of pressure in the breakdown from the Highlanders. I've had family living up north Pretoria. I've always liked the Bulls players. Going back decades, great players, says Ruth. Rolling this one back again. Aria Moonga. If they both moved to Moana would have been one of the top sides. Oh, it's a hard collision there in the air. It is a penalty awarded to the Highlanders. Yeah, looked like a very hard landing for Pasitoa, as well as I think that is maybe Latu. No, that's Solomon Alai Malo, in fact. Any chicken tenders yet? I did have chicken tenders after we won the final, yes. And they were pretty bang average because it was like late at night and they just wanted us to leave. Nariki doesn't know how to run, says Jordan. We're just seeing it here. Just doesn't get up off the ground for Alai Malo. Maybe he hurt his ankle in the process. Bring new stub on, says Jordan. And 08 says Idris. That is the score, yes. Well, I'm just going to say Highlanders says, what's up, guys? Staying down with this injury here for Solomon Alai Malo. Looks like heavy strapping is going on to that ankle, which they think that he may have rolled in the process. It looks like Lalo Milo, unfortunately, has got his arm in a sling, which is actually his shirt, the way that he's got it hooked over. It doesn't look too good for that man. They did lose Julian Savia to a shoulder injury after a long extended layoff for Savia. I think this weekend is pretty predictable in terms of rugby. Yeah, a lot of the games are expected to be not so much as one-sided, but just, expected winners. So hopefully there's one or two that throw a bit of a spanner in the works, but outside of like a couple maybe close games for a bit, I think it's going to be pretty one-sided. Chicken tenders, but what sauce? No sauce, just plain chicken tender, believe it or not. Nari has passed it. Doesn't break the line much anymore. You're happy with your cricket team's win? Glad it's over. I wasn't happy with my performance in the win, but it was still great that we managed to get the win. Definitely because we weren't supposed to. We came in as fourth qualifier. We played the top of the table team in the semi-final, managed to win that game on artificial turf, went into the final on a grass wicket up against another side that were ranked higher than us, lost the toss, and still managed to pull it off. Now next year it goes to Angus Ta'avao. Offloading there from Ta'avao again. Jacob Ratamaita Vuki Nepkins puts the grubber in behind Caleb Tangitao. Oh, loose ball. William Havili not controlling it nicely. It's then knocked on though by Ollie Haig. First knock on was Moana though. Wairarari Savia left Moana money. And also the opportunity in Japan arose, but yeah, went on a sabbatical so that he could still play for the All Blacks. But, of course, that money over in Japan is much higher than Super Rugby can offer. Hello, says Hannah. Welcome in. And it must be injured, says Moa Hunters. G. Haig says Jordan. But now it's still another very good attacking opportunity here. And Reese says our underdog pick. Yeah, although the Japanese league's not as easy as it used to be, is it? I feel like there was that pitch, what was it, maybe 5 years ago, even maybe a little bit longer than that. How people used to go to Japan because it was considered the easier competition on the body, and there's been some big boys join that league since then. Oh, short pass from Caleb Tangitao to Jacob Ratamaita Vuki Nepkins, who was tackled there by Solomon Alai Malo. Short side, Tangitao finishes it off. That is his second try of the match now. And 13-0, the score for the Landers. Put $2 on Jacob getting a try, says Pro Pleb. Haig has played lots of minutes. Still below 100 fantasy points, says Jordan. It's a hard day being a lock normally. You don't get a lot of credit for a huge amount of things that you do out there. And Tangitao and our back in two teams B, says Yandre. And also, we reckon this Avia was the Moana Spark last year, says Billy. And H, only Artie has come back and carried on form. Says the underdog pick. Only Artie has come back and carried on form. As in, like, you're talking about the Japanese top league, right? Because who else has had that same opportunity to have a sabbatical in Japan to then come back, play for the All Blacks later in the year? I don't know if we've had too many, have we? Because, of course, like, if the opportunity was there, Retallick would have loved to probably a couple years to be able to come back. And, of course, Rennie's now thrown his name around a little bit. That's a good kick from Risan Pasitoa. He's actually got that one over from the sideline. Missed a couple easier ones, but he has nailed the hardest of the day. And yes, sir, says the AI underdog pick. But yeah, I think if they opened up that sabbatical door or opened up that eligibility, you'd see easily 20 players going to Japan next season. What they say about Bodie, says the AI underdog pick. In terms of they say that he didn't come back in form or did come back. I assume didn't come back, right? In form, that is. He, of course, did come back. He's at the Blues at the moment. Now, ball's there for Moana Pasifika. They are down 15-0, so not the scoreline that they would have been after the early stages of the game. It's been a very free-flowing game, though. 29 minutes through in this matchup. It only kicked off about maybe 32 minutes ago. Richie Vermeer has to go to NPC. I think he's going to, isn't he? He's going to be playing for Canterbury in the NPC and also for the Crusaders in Super Rugby next year. I believe he's eligible in November for the All Blacks. But I think he's allowed to play NPC this season first, right? Now, right-hand side, Jackson Garden Bishop. Joel Lamb, going off to the left-hand side, Ollie Haig. Only 7 phases in. Now, right, medical Whaialangi almost through. There was William Harville who's hopping along with the Jonah Lowe on his ankle. Whaialangi, quick, snappy run there around the side from the skipper. Oh, what happened to him? He fell over. Player off the ball there, Harville. I think he's having a little bit of trouble getting the boots underneath him. Garden Bishop, middle of the field for Puranaiti. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button like I almost did, says Robert. Oh, and a nice steal there from Lasanga. Gets it back now. Shearer decides to go with the boot once more. Nice take there from William Harville. Stepping back inwards is Latu. They're losing a few metres here, Moana. Each and every time that Shearer kicks it in behind, just have to reset from inside of their own half. Been told to use it again. Kicked high by Lamb. Not having to chase after this one too hard as that ball didn't travel a huge amount of distance. Glenn Vaihu gets it off to Pulanaiti. Solid tackle from Haig on him. Now they're going for the cross kick from Lamb. It's going to be taken by Nariki just outside of the 22. He will kick it downfield off his left into Moana's 22 with Jackson Garden Bishop. He'll return fire with a boot of his own. Almost a miscommunication at the back there from the Highlanders, but Pasitoa overcalls Ratamaita Vuki Nepkins. He will kick it down the middle. This one bounces into the in-goal area. It's still rolling, but won't go dead. Now Harville off the left. Does kick that one into touch. A little bit of a seesaw battle there. Looks like another player is down. That might be actually Offa. So they recently made his way onto the field. Tavita Offa looks like he's struggling. Or no, in fact, sorry, it is Vaikoso Pulanaiti in the end. To catch the number 4 on his back. Not sure if you can answer this. But on the TAB site, there is an option to bet on line plus 24.5. What does that mean? So that pretty much means that Moana have to be within 24.5 points of the Highlanders. So, for instance, the Highlanders, if they won by 24, you'd get paid. If the Highlanders won by 25, you wouldn't. It's the same as if the Highlanders, for instance, were minus 24.5. That would mean they'd need to win by 25 or more. That's a nice kick there. 50-22 from Jonanariki. The Highlanders now with the line out. About 15 metres out. What's up, buddy? Any plans to do any leagues? IPL, PSL 100? Because international cricket is off for 2 months now. Not really at this stage. A lot of those games are middle of the night fixtures at very awkward times. I do like the 100 though, to be fair. But once again, I think they're awful timings for us here in New Zealand. Nice run from Jonah Nareki. Goes straight through the middle and scores the try. Is he okay? Maybe. Looks like he might have hurt his leg there. A terrible tactics by the Highlanders. We should be attacking, not kicking it away. Well, that kick away from Jonah Nareki has just led to a try for himself. He is slightly limping here. Savio is probably the worst player with high self-esteem and self-promotion in mind. So here's Renegade. I have 2 Highlanders in fantasy this week, Tangi Tau and Angus. A good finish there from Jonah Nareki. And it's just the way that he slides over. He kind of drops his head as if to say, yeah, nah, that's not good. And a bit slow getting back up to his feet as well. I was always very against changing the eligibility rules, but I've started to change my stance. Let Northern Hemisphere teams pay their salaries, free up some dollars for grassroots rugby. Says Akaya. Now Rizam Pasita. It's now 20-0. That kind of came around very quickly. And yes, says Jordan. That one has gone over. And that'll make the score now 22 points to 0. 6 minutes remaining. I am going to very quickly... When does the 100 start? It wants to sync them to my calendar. I just want to know when they're happening. First game is on the 21st of July. We'll see. Wait, is that the women's or the men's? That's the women's game. Men's game takes place just after 22nd of July by the looks of it. No, please not Nariki out. For now, he's still on the field. Solomon should replace Nariki next match. Says Jordan. Yeah, they'd be digging quite deep into the depth of this Landers squad, wouldn't it? I'm a Blenheim girl, born in Wellington, just raised in Blenheim. Brother just got onto the council this year. There you go. Rijam Pasitoa kicking it downfield again. Inside of the 22. Moana, no choice but to boot this one towards the touchline. And that one has ended up going out quickly, taken by Caleb Tangitau. Now Ratamaitavuki Nipkins. Chasing after this one. Oh, not taken cleanly by Lamb. Awkward bouncing ball guard and Bishop gets it. Uh-oh. Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nipkins has hurt his knee. By the looks of this, he is unable to stand up currently. Looks like he is really struggling. He's trying to get back up. It might even be ankle. They might have lost 2 of their back 3 in just about 2 minutes. But Rizam Pasito, a big driving tackle on him by Nico Jones. Now, penalty goes the way of the Highlanders. Black Cats lost in the last T20. How's your experience watching the match? I mean, it was good to watch. It wasn't the greatest result for New Zealand, of course. But now that shot from Esterhazen that he had out leg side, that looked really cool going into the crowd for 6. The food wasn't too bad either. I think I spent far too much money on food. Me and Isaac were going to all the different places, seeing what they had. But Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nipkins, he has stayed down. And initially I thought it was knee, but it seems like it's even lower than that. Thank you, Hamish, for never using AI in your thumbnails. You're the best. Says Rude Crane. No, that ankle is not where it was supposed to be. That looked like a broken ankle could have been on the cards there. No. Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nipkins. Says Jordan, Tangitau is my captain on fantasy. Good call, very good call at the moment. He scored himself 2 tries already in this game. Nice take from Tenuelo Talia. Had to slide on to the ball. Dominant from the Landers, says Hano. And to be fair, they were supposed to be relatively strong in this game, trying to get the steal again. Moana getting penalised every breakdown at the moment, it would seem. And like they've said, the number of penalties at the moment has really skyrocketed. So, yeah, a few concerns at the moment for Moana. And again, they will be kicking this one straight into touch. 9-0 in the penalty count. New Zealand T20 League also announced, hopefully next year, but Cricket League happen in New Zealand. That would be quite cool because it would actually be decent time zones for me too. And that Jones is Michael Jones' son. He certainly is. Now Jack Taylor gets it into the hands of TK Howden. New advantage. That's going to make it 10-0. Of course, if this try's not scored, but Jack Taylor goes in, it's another try. This game is pretty much all over but the final whistle. And we're still in the first half. Yes, sir, Jack. Says Jordan. But again, brilliantly done by the Highlanders, true. Says the AA underdog. Because have they said how many teams there's going to be coding in that one? Hopefully it's like about, what would you say, 6 or 8? Somewhere around there. The Iceman says the AA underdog. I don't understand the NZ20. How's it different to Super Smash? I think it's more overseas or like more funding. So more like franchise cricket, a little bit similar to the BBL. In terms of, I'd assume there'll be overseas players in the competition as well. I usually hate Damon Murphy, but he's been so good, says Jordan. Just wanted to order some food. Deliveries haven't stopped due to the attacks, but it's paused because of the weather, says Akaya. Oh, wow, that one's missed by miles there for Rizam Pasitoa. Missing it by a long way. Looks like Andrew Newstub is not a mile away from making his way out onto the field. We're only 39 minutes through this game, but it seems like Jacob Ratamaitapuki Nepkins may struggle to continue in this game. Jake Taylor is my hooker. Good call. I'd say it's probably not too bad. He has just scored the try. No, I was announcing the investment. Will come as happened in the South Africa T20 League. Says Coding. Good morning. Thanks for the best commentary. Listening all the way from South Africa. Says Cat in there. And we have got plenty more coming up this weekend, including URC games. The Bulls, they are going to be in action up against Munster. The earlier game than that, the Sharks, going head-to-head up against Cardiff. We'll be scheduling that stream after this one finishes. ANZ20 are going to upgrade Queenstown to a broadcast quality venue. And couldn't get Uber Eats in Ashburton. Don't know if it's changed since I was there. I think they have it now for certain places. I know that they have, I think it's DoorDash there, maybe? That one's going to be booted into touch by the Highlanders, so not wasting any time at the end of the first half. Jacob Ratamaitapuki Nepkins is still limping badly here. The halftime break, 27-0. Currently a big bonus point could be on the cards for the Highlanders now. And Jonah Lomu very close to Jonah Lomu. Lots of children were named after the great Jonah Lomu. And also take Nepkins off for precaution. Yeah, unfortunately, though, the damage may already be done for Jacob Ratamaitapuki Nepkins. You know, you saw Nariki only a couple minutes before with an injury of his own too. It's that Highlanders' unfortunate curse that seems to happen at about this stage. Food of choice, Amish, Italian, Mexican, or Indian food. Oh. So you're pretty much asking pizza and pasta, tacos, or I would probably say out of those three, I do love a pizza. I do also love a butter chicken though. So chicken pakora goes well. So I'll probably say Italian if I had to pick out of those, but I would also happily accept the others. How much time it took you to go to the ground from home? So it wasn't actually nearby me. We had to travel for about 3 hours first to then get to the location. But from where we were staying, it was probably a 30-minute drive, somewhere around there. Queenstown is cold and expensive. Beautiful, though, says Shane. Lots of injuries this match from both teams. We want to have a few as well. OKC says Turkey of welcome in. 10-0 and penalties is diabolical. Yeah, it's the type of number that you don't normally see. Join my Discord server. I saw the invite. You're the only one in the server, though, Turkey of. So surely, rather than messaging in a server, you can just send me the messages like you normally do, right? Rather than doing it through a separate server that just has you in it. Shane Mann made thunderstorms unbelievable, and were Moana set up by the New Zealand Rugby Union? I think so. I think they were involved in the setting up of the team. I thought James Lowe, my bad, says the AI underdog. Or will run over no one in the 90s, even under the bright lights. And Pacifica needs to make a start. It's getting late, says Ruth. Yeah, they pretty much have to score the first try of the second half. Because if they don't do that, they're probably not going to do very well in this game at all, which is the sad reality of being 27-0 down at halftime. It really doesn't help much. Who's the next match? Says Tills Bruce. So the next game tonight is going to be Brumbies Waratahs, although I'm not actually covering that one on the channel. The next game that I'm covering will be Hurricanes Reds tomorrow afternoon for Super Rugby. You look like a boxer with that shirt. Says Turkiov. I mean, it is like, it's branded as Everlast, which I think they do make boxing gear. So it's probably not a bad shout. Maybe Pacifica needs to find a boat and start paddling to where the hell they came from. Says Renegade. Well, they're playing a home game here, and that's North Harbour. Some nice water around up there, though, isn't there? I wouldn't mind going for a bit of a paddle there. We have got their roof. Good start. Just headed, or just heard, Tuilepa gone. And also, we've got Jordan, about 3 degrees last winter sea. Next match, once again, it's Brumbies versus Waratahs of Super Rugby Pacific, but we aren't covering that one. The next game that we're doing is Hurricanes versus Reds. Although the game that we are doing before that for URC is actually going to be the Sharks versus Cardiff game. I don't think I've seen a franchise set up to fail quite like Moana. Says Fleshin. Yeah, the unfortunate thing is they did too well in some regards last year, because they did well enough that overseas clubs saw the potential in the players, and then 15 players left with overseas contracts. So, like, there's only so much you can do, if that makes sense. This is a little bit similar to what we saw for the Fijian draw. You know, Vinaya Habosi breaking onto the scene, doing brilliantly for the Fijian draw, and then just, you know, he ends up overseas. You look at a few of those other guys, Osifo Masi, he did well for the Fijian draw. Someone snipes him up. And it just seems to be that any time that someone actually seems set for Moana or for the Fijian draw, a club overseas says, yeah, we'll take them. And let up the valley, get to -7. Everlast is a Kmart budget brand, says Jason. Yeah, so you can tell the funds aren't too good, can't you? Going off to the left-hand side, they're just showing the replay here of the Tangitau's second try in the contest. He has already got himself the double, looking for a hat-trick here. Almost had a third and away when he did end up knocking it on over the goal line. We have got there. Oh, what's up, fellas? There's Dano2. Welcome in. I'm doing extremely well. Hope you're I hope you're excited for the second half, but it seems like it's pretty much one-way traffic at this stage. So I hope you're excited for the weekend of rugby to come. Have you also went to other cricket games as well, like ODI or Test previously? I've been to Test matches. I've never been to an ODI. And I also, up until this game, had never been to a T20 International. So it was kind of cool because Isaac, he went as well. So, you know, I've watched a lot more cricket than him throughout my lifetime. He doesn't really watch cricket at all. But, yeah, both of us, that was our first game of international cricket that we got to watch. And the Black Caps lost, which was not ideal. We have got there, but I haven't checked, but Wildcard reckons 60 million from Australia has gone to the Highlands for 10 years. Says they are our underdog pick. Let's go Moana, says Tills Bruce. Currently top performers. Kicking meters, 296 for Rizan Pasitoa. Kicks in place, 7 for Jackson Garden Bishop, 6 for Pasitoa, 5 for Nareki. Been a lot of kicking throughout this matchup, but Moana, they've given away a huge amount of penalties. They're just showing there Nick Shearer. He's had 3 defenders beaten, 5 carries, 27 passes, and 2 try assists for his debut. Both teams are set up as development teams, which financially isn't so bad for the players and young talent. Gets forced through, says Fleshin. Sure, Moana, just go towards the sea and keep going. Says Renegade, and Hamilton gets to about -3 to -5 as well. Christchurch about -5 and 6. Amazing, that's a lot. Also love Wildcard. Says Ruth. It's just been the one penalty kicked by the Highlanders. It was for Pasitoa. He has got a couple conversions over Dunedin Airport around -7, -8. Tangitau, 2 defenders beaten, 2 tries. 20 metres gained from his 4 carries. The penalty count has not been ideal. 9-0. In favour of Moana, against Moana. Get you live on the NRL. We have thought about it in the past, and I have actually done a couple games in the past as well. The biggest problem is the fact that it does overlap so much with Super Rugby. But we are doing the Rugby League World Cup on the channel. Hopefully to do every single game. Broncos versus Dolphins, I think that is from Tills Bruce. When's that one taking place? That's tonight, isn't it? Or is it tomorrow? Tangi Tau would score way more if he didn't kick it away all day. Another blowout game, says Samoan POV. Highlanders are dominating. Should be more tries coming. Yeah, if they're not careful here, Moana, they're probably going to concede quite a bit more. Moana getting close to a yellow, says Mark Kiwi. Yeah, with 9 penalties against them, you'd think one more and that has to kind of be the warning from the referee. Nice job, Sheriff Akatava, says Jason. And hey, Hamish, by the way, great job, says Mark Kiwi. Thank you very much, greatly appreciated. I will mention there is a women's game taking place at the moment between Australia and Fiji. It's actually a really good contest at this point in time. They are in the second half. I won't spoil the score in that game, but it's very competitive at this point in time. Can't remember exactly. That's on me loving human beings. I'm my mates for life now. Finn Allen will cook in ODI World Cup, says Turkey. When's the ODI World Cup, by the way? Is it this year or next year? Seems like we've got a Cricket World Cup every 5 minutes at the moment. What are we? Cricket World Cup. Is it 2026? 2027. I think it might be 2027 maybe. Landis could have got 40 already, but Pacifica holding them. Drawing the Blues tomorrow. Yep, we are going to be covering that game on the channel. Should be a fantastic one between the sides. It's at Eden Park, so it's going to be a tough one for the Fijian draw. They are still looking to break their drought of away losses. They haven't been able to win any away game for over 3 years. That is 2027, finally outside Asia. And South Africa, says Coding in there as well. Finn Allen is the Travis Head of South Africans in cricket. But I would say we're about maybe 3 or 4 minutes away from the second half. Do you let me know, what's your end score prediction here, ladies and gents? Because it's not looking good for Moana. But if they score first and they score often throughout the second half, maybe they can take away the bonus point. Any cricket comp you can event. There's a few India versus Pakistan pays bank, says Mark Kiwi. It's just that rivalry match, isn't it? Trying to think of what else is coming up international cricket-wise. I know that, I think it was Bangladesh we're playing in about 3 weeks or so, the last that I saw. Yeah, Bangladesh versus New Zealand. That is ODIs taking place in Bangladesh, still time to be confirmed. In May, Ireland play New Zealand in a test match, 27th of May. That'll be interesting. Yeah, that one goes. And then England versus New Zealand, that is happening throughout June. So we might be able to cover that one. You have nothing to talk about except weather and cricket. Samoan Heritage Rugby. Is that skillful, huh? Says Renegade. No, we just get distracted at half time. I know you got a little bit of an ultimatum of this Moana team, and you know you'd said some interesting comments before, but it's just whatever someone's talking about, I just jump in. Lockie Ferguson bowled 4 overs in the World Cup. India would have scored 300. Yeah, there were a few runs going there, weren't there? Say it is again this year, says Tills Bruce. England versus New Zealand Test Series coming up in June. Will you do live commentary? Not sure yet, but possibly. Watch the FIFA World Cup, mate. Skip the Test Series of New Zealand against the English. The attributes are there, yes. Here's the AI underdog pick. 3 big games taking place tomorrow in Super Rugby Pacific. Still another one coming up later on. Is this coding dude a scammer? Sure looks and talks like one. Well, that's just blatantly racist, but talks like one. In what way is he talking like one? He's literally just talking about the cricket. We have got there, get to Baltimore for the South Africans versus ABs. Yeah, you know, it's a bit far, isn't it, for myself, unfortunately. And IQ says the RA underdog pick as Kiwi Rob resting up his wisdom for the Blues game. He'll be excited for it. I can tell you that right now. And if they end up doing well, the Blues, we will not hear the end of it for quite some time. Although, really, they should have won that game up against the Tars last week, shouldn't they? Let's be honest. They had it there, and they just let it slip away. Kane Williamson will bat at 3, and Rach and Ravindra at 4. And the Cricket World Cup says Turkey off. There's still a little bit of time till there. If you brainstorm talent, the only word is mindset besides IQ, skill and physicality. Says our underdog pick, which is something that this Moana side have in leaps and bounds, isn't it? But, once again, you lose 15 players, it just really does hurt you in terms of being able to find that next combination. I do think they've still got a pretty decent loose forward trio. Maybe not so much for this game as they've made a couple switches, but Miruku Langi, you normally see Samisi Paya in there, and then Samisi Tupotai Loa as a number 8. I feel like that is a winning trio. Tom Savage missing from this game. Maybe we're seeing it a little bit with the fact that that penalty count is really creeping up, and lineouts, they haven't been able to find their momentum there. The ground is covered in things. Says Jordan, I'm more excited for the Blues than the Hurricanes. The Blues have some new guys starting. Yeah, Peyton Spencer at number 15. Speaking of Blues men, that is Zahn Sullivan eating a hot dog in the stands. Who's defence coach for Moana H? I'm not actually sure who their defence coach is. I know that their head coach is Tana, who has now got the defensive coach job for the All Blacks, but I don't think he's the defence coach of this Moana team. In terms of the All Blacks, who do you think be Rennie's 10? Tricky one, isn't it? I don't think he'll throw Moonga straight back in the mix, because I don't know if he was as highly fond of Moonga. Although, to be fair, he would have seen a lot of Moonga throughout the competition that he's currently coaching in. But I'd be surprised if it was Barrett. That would be the biggest surprise for me in terms of November onwards. But July, we're probably going to see, I'd say Mackenzie and maybe a young guy in the mix. You have to try KFC and Nando's as celebration with George or your mum or dad if New Zealand will win the T20 World Cup final. Yeah, although they did lose, didn't they? Lomax playing Western Force. Is in playing for the Western Force. I know that Lomax is going head-to-head with them. He is in the starting lineup for the Hurricanes. They made a few switches. Oh, no, sorry. You're talking about other Lomax. Sorry, I was thinking of Tyrell Lomax. You're thinking of Zach, aren't you? That one's going to be kicked high. Oh, beautifully taken by Caleb Tangitau. Offload now to Tenuelu Talia. Couple big fans. Offload on the outside and on debut. Shearer scores. That's not the half start that Moana would have been after. We have got where is Sebastian Grima guy. He was also regular on the channel. He still pops in every once in a while to say hi. It's more so the Northern Rugby that he does come in to talk about. It's funny how when the Highlanders lose, the word is they're bad. Yet when Moana lose, everyone gets on with excuses. Sad stories, etc., says Jason. Now we have their scored already, says Tills Bruce. New Zealand cricket lost because Hamish was at the game. Says Mahadina. I mean, I'll go with that. And I was going to pick Shearer on fantasy, but he wasn't on there, says Jordan. Now Rishan Pasitoa. He's got a very colourful graph at the moment in terms of 3 have gone over, I believe. 3 have also missed for this man. 4 have missed for this man. It goes away to the left-hand side, and the score remains 32-0 in favour of the Highlanders. I think Damien McKenzie's experience coming off the bench is still important for us. But also he is a bench specialist. He just knows how to sway a game. He's doing the other rugby game. Not the one tonight between the Brumbies and the Waratahs. The next game will be at about 6 a.m. And that is going to be Sharks versus Cardiff. Now Shearer rolls this one back in the breakdown, currently inside of the 22 for the Landers, so this one could find touch, and it does. Oh, in fact, that's going to be ruled as taken back by the Highlanders. Which now means that Moana Pasifika have their best attacking chance in quite some time. We see there Halanaitai has made his way onto the field. That is for Abraham Pule. It's just not on, Renegade. Have a think about what you're saying before you're saying it. Now, this one's going to be thrown in. Going off to the right-hand side. Now trying to break through the middle. Not quite able to get there. Now off to the right-hand side. Chance here. Big run from Latu. Off the right-hand side again to Sanarevi. Are you doing the sevens? That is going to be sneaking in every once in a while for the sevens too. Now left-hand side. Oh, and they're going to have to go back for the penalty. This is actually going to be against the Highlanders though. 3 gold offside. Angus Ta'aval. There's another injury for Moana here. PSL is happening in empty stadiums due to petrol issue. Says coding. I have got their a random person, mate. Hamish doesn't know you. I kind of know a bit about Zakaya. I know that she's doing, is it a PhD in sports? I think something to do with refereeing, if I remember. But now it's going to be a line out. Chance here for Moana Pasifika. Yini will make his way on. They are trying to help Moana. This is a shame. Another injury to a halfback here. Lamb is off. That adds to the list of, at the moment, I believe they have lost Jonathan Tamatine. And also, they did lose, who's their other halfback? Augustine Pulu. Oh, that's close. That is a try, in fact. Nico Jones just rolled straight over. That looked a little bit too easy for Moana. Definitely from a position when they've been 32-0 down to then be able to just bulldoze their way through and score a rolling maul try. Crusaders playing this weekend. They aren't. They are the team with the bye. I just had to think about that hard for a second there. But yeah, no Crusaders game this weekend. But next weekend they're playing over the Easter period up against the Fijian draw. Is Shearer interested in making sheep bald? Says Jason. And very, very sad. Another thrashing. Says Sakula. Hamish, when you unlock in the chat, probably won't, to be honest. It's much easier without it, as some people would have experienced. There was a lot of spamming, which some people haven't completely been cleared of doing yet. So until that's cleared, chat's staying the way it is. Chance here for Jackson Garden Bishop. First kick of the day. Well, at least off a tee. Done quite a bit of kicking elsewhere in this match, but Garden Bishop down the middle. And that is going to make the score now 32 points to 7. She's hopefully Umunga is better assistant than coach. Says bad to the bone. How much live streams you done after starting channel to get decent live watching on the channel, says Coding? I think we've done over 1,500 live streams, maybe even 2,000. So we've done probably more than most. Which is also, oh, that's a hard hit there for William Harvilli. Next week is last Crusaders match at Apollo Project Stadium. Yeah, up against the Fijian draw, which feels like a nice fitting option. Whatever, I'm here for the rugby, not to answer stupid questions. Or ask stupid questions and avoid answering everything, says Zakaya there. Now Sanarevi. Ready for this line out. I think they're going to check this one because of William Harvilli taking a shot to the head. What is the chat doing, says Jason? Okay, head-on-head contact. This is going against Harvilli. Who's your top 3 in Super? Join the World Club Cup. For me, Chiefs, Blues, Brumbies. I feel like based off current form, you kind of got to get the Canes in there, don't you? Yeah, just a bit too high there from Harvilli. Okay, it's going to be a yellow card for William Harvilli, which isn't a bad thing because he's probably going off for an HIA anyway here. Like they've said, there was no real intention behind it, but it has still resulted in the card. My bad, Canes, Blues, Brumbies. Says the AI underdog pick. Now the Highlanders once again back in control of this game. That one's booted out. Now it's probably about 12 metres out. Pasitoa not quite getting the angle that he would have liked on that ball. But now line out claimed nicely by TK Howden. Now left-hand side. Now Pasitoa, that's a nice wide cut-out ball to Jananariki. Having a problem with me for no reason. Are you mental, mate? Says Turkey. To be fair, you did give a smart-ass answer, didn't you? So, was it your own fault? Probably. You know, where are you from? Earth's not exactly helpful, is it? What's the yellow for whose team? So, it is a yellow for Moana Pasifika and no William Harvey for the next 9.5 minutes of this game. Penalty count now is sitting 11 points to 1. Or, sorry, 11 to 1 for the penalty count. Monster score coming? Yeah. The Highlanders, they did concede once, but that may be the only time they concede throughout this game. Nice take there from Thomas Lavanini in the line out. Yep. Shearer. Looks like he might have to try and dig around for this one. It looks like it's kind of stuck in the middle. Oh, I think that Moana have actually got this one. Yes, they do. Brilliant defence from Moana Pasifika. If you think about it, the Tawhatanawai is essentially a bigger, hulkier Sevu Reece. So here's Tanner too. And that bigger, hulkier Sevu Reece, he will be making his way off the bench in this contest for the Highlanders. So with the fact that they are already leading by so much, it could be an absolute game changer for them. They have made the change of Sean Withy. In fact, no, Tawhatanawai, I believe, is the only man who's made his way off the bench. I made him must be old now. Says bad to the bone. And see the line out. Wait, where'd that go? See the line out hasn't been a Jack Taylor problem. It's been a calling and jumper problem. And Tawhatanawai is injured, says Jordan. So who have they got coming off the bench instead? Next time, if you want, ask weird question. It's not really a weird question. People talk about it all the time in the chat. Obviously, there's something personal behind your backstory, and you don't want to say where you're from, which is fine. You don't have to, but you also don't have to get so angry about it as well. You could have just said, "I'd prefer not to answer." That's an easy answer to give, and then they would have gone, "Okay, fair enough. We won't talk about it anymore." We have got there Tawhatanawai pulled out late, New Stub and Lennox. So New Stub and Lennox. So did they not have a 23 in this one? Who have they got as that last replacement? Or literally that late that he pulled out that they couldn't get someone else in time? But why is this guy getting mad? I don't think he was the one getting mad about it, to be fair. But now, ball's there at the back. Nini. Going away to the right-hand side. Big chopping low tackle from Urent. And he loves targeting knees. And I don't know if he does it on purpose, but a lot of the time his tackles do look quite brutal. This one's going to be put high. Slapping that one in a forwards direction there for Moana. So it is going to be an advantage again. Janariki kicking this one across field. Jackson Garden Bishop inside of his 22. The toe just on the line, which does still count as in with a 6-2 split, says Jordan. Oh, so they just chucked in an extra forward in that case. So they're Withy. Who's the other fella? They had someone at 19 that they had Stoddard. There must be one more that I'm forgetting, right? Currently on the halfway line. Jamie Joseph needs to lace up. Oh, so Broughton's coming. Okay. Shearer kicks it in behind. Taken at the back. Good low chopping tackle. Almost a turnover there in the breakdown for Vaveni Lasanga. And does nicely. Quick tap taken by Shearer. Looking to move this one on. Caleb Tungi Tau knocks the ball on. Oh, that's a random pass from Moana. Going back. Double blow of the whistle here. Okay, late tackle in the air. It's a yellow card against Glenn Vaihu. Come on, Moana. Says Hobbit. Jamie Joseph needs to lace up his boots. Get on the field, says Jason. Moana Pasifika already got the try, says Turkey. They did get one earlier on, right near the start of the second half. But now 2 yellow cards for Moana Pasifika, so that's not going to make it easy. Defending with 13 against a Highlanders rolling maul when you're already down by 25 points. It's like a bit of a nightmare situation. I just listened to, I think someone's trying to start a chant around the ground and it's not really working. I think that that's Lasanga's 8th turnover. See Jordan, Jack Taylor throws this one in. The penalty count is now 13-1. I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that that is 13 against one side and the other only conceding the once, or the fact that the Highlanders' discipline has been so strong throughout this game. But Vaveni Lasanga receives the pass on the right-hand side and it is another try. And now the Highlanders, they are working their way towards that half century. Wake them up at 80, says the IA underdog pick. Yes, Lasanga, says Jordan. I do like starting point, Sport Billy the Kiwi, says Shane. The Warriors to win the NRL finally. They're playing at the moment, aren't they, the Wars? I'm going to have a quick look without giving anything away. Going all right. But Lasanga on my fantasy. It's about time they do it, says Demon the 11th. Okay, Pacifica got one, says Ruth. And that one, bringing it back round. Risan Pasitoa does beautifully there. Makes the score now 39 points to 7. Tavo is injured more than he ever plays. Says bad to the bone. You can kind of understand why as well, can't you? Like, in terms of the amount of defenders beaten and the amount of breakdowns he throws himself into. Like, it's very hard to not end up injured. Tava Nawai isn't actually injured that often. Says Jordan, excellent, says Zakaya. And there as well, currently in the live standings department, we see there that the Highlanders would be sitting in 6th. How many subs made? I think they've only made a couple here, the Highlanders. That's a big knock on from Ollie Haig. Just looking through at the team in terms of replacements currently. I think I see Daniel Leonard-Brown on the field. Oh no, in fact, it was still the starting one. Now breaking through. Big chance here. And Sanarevi goes over. Another try for the Highlanders. Andrew Newstub is at least on. I'm not sure about anyone else just yet. Can Moana come back? Probably not. But, I mean, getting a couple tries is going to be handy enough. Now we have got there. I'm in need of some steak to give my eggs and mushroom breakfast. Will go to Spa soon. But nice offload there from Jackson Garden Basham, and then Sanarevi just manages to finish that one off in style. Bring the wider bench on, coach says our underdog pick. 54 minutes through currently. Committed. Gets hurt sometimes. Tough. And Fijian says Jordan, that kick has gone over, making the score now 39 points to 14, which does look a lot better in the overall scoreline, but they still have a lot of work to do. And those missed kicks from the Highlanders, if anything was going to cost them in this game, it would be those. I mean, their discipline's been phenomenal. Wasn't he injured most of last year too? Says bad to the bone. He was for the All Blacks part of the season. I think he made it through Super without an injury. And then it was actually going back to play in the NPC when really he should have been getting All Blacks minutes, but they decided to send him back out. And then he got injured in that game for Tasman. But Nawai's home New Zealand town is Blenheim. I knew Moana was going to win this. Come back on, says the Sporting Kiwi. If the Warriors win the NRL, I will give you a $60 super chat. Now ready to throw this one in. Right, Sean Whiffy is now on the field. And also Broughton's out there too. Another Blenheim star. Says the guy there for Timothy Nawai. They've been told to use it once here. The Highlanders going short side. Taylor. Oh, Shearer almost hurt his knee there in the way that he tried to kick that ball. And a little bit of push and shove happening here too. Damn 20 minutes, Kiwi. Says the AI underdog pick. Yeah, still another 25 minutes remaining in this contest. Pacifica Food Festival tomorrow. Forsyth Bar Stadium at 10 a.m. And Moana Pasifika will win Super Rugby before the Warriors even win the NRL. Looks like one of the lights at the ground is actually turned off here. It's going to be the advantage now. Pick and go round the side. Looking for the offload. It's come off the boot of the Moana player. So it will be a Highlanders line out, or at least it would have been. I prefer to call him Timothy. Shorter to spell. And now penalty goes the way of Moana. And not going to lie, Warriors, best start, I would say. Yeah, I think it's been their best start since about 2017, right? Or somewhere around there, I think I heard someone say. Right, one light is completely out at the moment at this ground, ladies and gentlemen. Which you would think they'd be able to sort out by now. It's been off for a couple minutes at this point. They are having some real struggles with it. Has Lavanini been behaving himself tonight? He hasn't given away many penalties at all. Mainly because the Highlanders have only given away about 2 throughout the whole match, whereas Moana have given away 13 or 14. Now, a no advantage. There's another one. I have a Miracle 0 fantasy points at the moment. He hasn't actually done a lot with the ball in hand today. Miracle Whailangi, although big chance here on attack to get something going for Moana Pasifika, moving away to the right-hand side. Nini with the pass across to Latu. Out to Garden Bishop. Short ball. William Harville, big 2-man tackle on him. Now back to the right-hand side. Pick and go again. Just short of the line once more. Now even closer to the line. I grab your touches, boys, says Jason there. Right, they want to check this one to see if it is the third try. And it is awarded straight away. They didn't actually need to really check that one that much. The Aussie refs, I'll make sure the Wars don't win the NRL. Everyone's waiting for that big moment, aren't they, where there's a controversial call. Lavanini seems to have turned a new leaf. He doesn't get carded now nearly as much as he did. Says Zakaya there. They are just saying there. A very nice finish. I told you the comeback is on. Up the Moana, says a Sporting Kiwi. Not such a miracle anymore, says Jason. Two from two for Jackson Garden Bishop. And misses away to the side. And if the NRL Broncos win title again, I bet thousands of players and fans have an underwear party again, says Hobbit. Are you doing the Brumbies next? I actually am not. Because of that early morning start at 6 a.m. in the morning for the URC, I am missing the Brumbies game. I'll probably keep an eye on the first half, but I'd say by the second half I'll be hopefully asleep. The score is sitting 39-19 at the moment. OMG, Daniel Leonard-Brown. He's on. Been told you'd use it there for Yini. If the NRL Broncos win the title, I bet thousands of players and fans will have, Okay, the callers play on. It is completely dark there. I think it might just be Sky's coverage that they haven't got any sort of light at the moment, but it is just a black screen. No substitutes available for the Brumbies game? Sadly not. No, it is quite hard to organise subs, as I've learnt from that last weekend. Technical difficulty, says Vic Mars. Yeah, it is just a dark screen. They've got sorry for the interruption for Sky. Now I've got two hounding me. Says Zakai. I think you'll find the one who's hounding you now is actually the same guy. I see that the account was created very recently. So I think he's tag teaming on his same account. Or like two different accounts. If that makes sense. And Kane's the biz. Jordan, get on that high boy. And also, we've got there Daniel Craig. Best acting performance was in Power of One. And the NRL Broncos win the title again. I bet thousands of players and fans. Oh no, I read that one, didn't I? Yeah, Sky technical difficulties at the moment. Ready for Easter, Hamish? Do you like pickled fish? Oh, I normally like an Easter egg around Easter. I haven't actually had pickled fish around Easter before. But I think we're going away for Easter, so I'm going to be doing some live streams on the road. Sky got to start offering its customers months free because there's so many technical difficulties, says the Sporting Kiwi. Currently, it's still sitting 19 points to 39. Sky are still having a few technical difficulties. The last we saw, I believe the Highlanders were on attack about 40 metres out from the opposition line. But until this coverage comes back, we have absolutely no idea what's going on. The Sporting Kiwi, they ran out of fuel. Are you going to Spain? No. No, it's only a few hours away. No Spanish trip on the cards. At least that I know of. This is one of the longer interruptions that they've had on Sky for Super Rugby Pacific throughout this year. Man of the match. Tangutel will be up there because of those 2 tries that he was able to score. Shearer's been solid. I know that some people were criticising him for kicking the ball away earlier on. But, you know, he's had 2 try assists. He's had a try of his own. And overall, a very solid game on debut. And tries is the AI underdog pick. Who scored it? The AI underdog. And for us currently, we can see absolutely nothing on Sky Sport, or at least for myself, that is the case. I will mention last try was scored by Alan Craig, by the way, for the Moana Pasifika one. Make sure you try Choc Bar Trumpet ice creams. Do they have that now? I haven't actually heard of them. Is the game still playing? Yeah, I think that it wasn't actually the lights at the stadium that went out. It was actually just the Sky coverage that cut out. A game of 2 halves, says Zakai. Yeah, currently second half a lot more competitive than we saw in the first. Do you think Moana can come back and win? It'd be a bit of a tough ask, wouldn't it? I do still see the Highlanders getting at least 1 more try in this game. And come on, Moana, help me get my margin, says Mark Kiwi. What margin are you after, Mark? So let me know. Pacifica need another 2 soon. And should I bet on the Blues game? Probably not. Because Super Rugby, I mean, last round was the perfect example of how unpredictable Super Rugby in general can be. Just like how this game's very unpredictable at the moment because we can't see what's happening. Currently, Sky are still having technical difficulties. Yes, the draw of 13 plus, says TRS. Did a fan pull the extension cord? Yeah, currently, the last update I've had in terms of time is 39:19 after 63 minutes. What are you doing next Friday? Are you doing the Bulls or the Sharks game? Hopefully both, but nothing confirmed yet. I've still got to work out where we are at the time. I'll probably be doing a stream from a garage, I would say. Come on, Moana, double your points. Do you think the Brumbies chose the best team for today's game against the Tars? They're looking pretty solid on paper, the Brumbies currently. But, you know, that's a game that they should win comfortably. And it would just be, you know, their own doing if they were to lose that one, I would say. My Sky cut out. Mine has 2. I've currently still got sorry for the interruption. Last time that we had one this long was probably Highlanders Hurricanes last year, where they did have sorry for the interruption for quite some time on Sky Sport. I got them at 20 plus or 0.5 plus. Hopefully they can clutch. I like the Brumbies props on the bench. I don't know who got him. Bishop, you was talking about Garden. Says Sock. Are you going golfing on Sunday? At this stage, I'm not too sure. I think I'm going to be there, though. Hopefully. Luckily, there aren't too many streams that will overlap. It's just dependent on how sleep deprived I am. But I think I'll be getting to the course. I can't guarantee I'll play good golf. But hoping to play some slightly decent golf as a whole. I think the Sky reception runs through this straight, says Chris. And 9 p.m. for the Sharks, says Mohadin. I heard of the ball. It's actually unknown. Sky is cut out completely for us here in New Zealand. So I could make it up at the moment, but I would be completely lying. Because I can't see anything. I would assume the Highlanders have it, because they have had the ball quite a bit throughout this matchup. The penalty count is heavily against Moana Pasifika. They did have 2 yellow cards at the time when it did all cut out. My boys Siali, Lauakai and Tosi are going to be in the same scrum. That'll be exciting, won't it? They'll be together. Stan Sport is also cut out in Australia. And what's the score? Score currently 39-19 was the last update that we had. Tangi Tower scored 10 tries. This has been a bad technical difficulty cut out here in Australia as well, says Hector. So we've probably got a lot more people popping in now trying to find the coverage. So anyone who is popping in, we've got an All Blacks ad by the looks of it currently here in New Zealand. So hopefully we're only a minute or so away. What happened to the game? They've currently got technical difficulties. They're currently showing an episode of The Crowd Goes Wild. Yeah, because Stan Sport is using the Sky Sport coverage. It's cut out for me. And who will score now? To be fair, if you were a betting man, you'd probably say... you'd probably say that there'd be a decent chance that you see the Highlanders score by mate off to Malta. So yeah, hopefully you do enjoy your trip. Thanks, I thought it was just me. No, it seems to be everywhere at the moment. I've actually seen on an app that I use to get little updates as well. It says there are a few power difficulties at the ground and one of the light towers has gone out. Seems player has been halted. We apologise for the technical difficulties. We are working on getting this solved as quickly as possible. So will the players ref stop playing? Depends. Because one of the light towers went out and then it went pitch black. And I don't know whether that was the Sky coverage that went pitch black or if it was actually because of the fact that no stadium lights were working there. It did sound like play was continuing though. But if they haven't got any coverage or any light, they of course are going to have a very hard time trying to play this game. And Mark Richardson is Radio Sport still a thing? I think so. I think they have different, or it might not be Radio Sport now, but there are a few different options. Did the roof come off? Where is the game being played? It is being played at North Harbour Stadium. So yeah, one light tower went out. And then the other light tower decided to do the same thing. I don't actually know if this game is still happening currently or whether they are in a scenario of waiting for lights to come back on so that they can continue playing. Someone is tampering with the stadium. And game keeps going on no matter what, even if the game goes on. Radio Sport stopped a long time ago. And kia ora, Hamish Rose says, Matthew, welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. My mistake, technical difficulties. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? And it's been a long stoppage too. Currently we see, I mean, the scoreboard's still ticking over time. But I don't think that's a guarantee that this game is happening. Comment the game, please. The game's not happening currently, or at least it's not being shown here in New Zealand. Normally we do the play-by-play all the way through the game, but the game we can't actually tell you what's going on because coverage on Sky is completely cut out. The score may still be 39-19. That's where they were sitting last time when the game was taking place. But this is the longest time that we have had it cut out for a very long time. Like I mentioned, last game probably a couple years ago or last year, Hurricanes versus Highlanders. And that game was about midway through, wasn't it? And the whole second half cut out. Or at least some of it did, and then we ended the stream and then it came back. I don't think it's on right now. I think more light towers have gone out. I don't know. Says Jordan. And Mitch Abandon says, Zach, what happened in the game? Currently, the game is put on pause due to some lighting issues that they were having at the stadium. Now, they might still be playing currently. Like I mentioned, what's the score? Score last we saw was 39-19, but Sky are having technical difficulties. Time, if the game continued on, it would have been about 67 minutes through. But again, we don't know if the game's still happening because Sky coverage is cut out just for now. They've got the message on the screen. We regret the interruption to this live program. Coverage will resume as soon as possible. No one paid the power bill, says Jasmine. They should move the teams to Eden Park and finish the game. We had a Tasman game in Blenheim last year, the year before, and there was tons of lightning, so the coverage was out for lots. It's on 58 minutes only. The game has stopped. It might be. Currently, no update has been provided, but pretty much what has happened is it's cut out on Sky. So for all we know, they might still be playing now without any issue whatsoever. But the way it is sitting currently, we don't know what's happening. This is weird. I watched Super Rugby since 2005, and I've never seen it cut out like this. Yeah, because one of the light towers went out just before the coverage cut. Vanaka Hamish says, Iseta, Fiji's still waiting. Yeah, so as soon as it comes back, we will let you know what's happening. But for now, we literally don't know. Sky haven't provided any update as well in terms of what is to come or why they are not playing at this point in time. Mark Richardson is Legend all right. Right, we'll see whether or not the TAB have anything about it. Normally they're pretty swift and going good. Power outage, says Zach. And thank you, says Nishad. No worries at all. It's raining at the game, says Mohadin. Right, Super Rugby in play. Currently, it says 68 minutes in, possession for the Highlanders. So whether or not that's actually the case, I guess we'll wait and find out if there's any more updates from that one. Energy Wars says Rangi, and hopefully the players stop playing. Yeah, unless the game's fine. But it seems like 68 minutes 55 is as far as they got through. How would you know if it's raining? Says Jordan, maybe they are at the game. Super Rugby posted on X. What did they post, Zach? Oh, so power outage. Okay, well, that's not ideal. Game has been paused, says Zach. And Tangitau's still on. I assume, well, once the game comes back, he will still be on. Power outage could be out for a while, too. Sees players been altered. Thank you, Zach, says Yuan there. I don't know if the game will continue. They'll probably have a certain time that they have to try and get this game completed by. That time for me was hopefully 8:45. So that the thing is, strategically, Fish and Chip Shop here closes at 9 p.m, you see. So 8:45-ish was when this game initially was going to be finished. I was going to get myself some fish and chips for dinner. But now it seems like this game might be delayed enough that may not be able to happen. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. This game's not. It has been delayed due to power outage is the call. And Dungy Towers should start racking up tries in the dark. Game's on hold, asking in America. Yeah, so currently this game is on hold, waiting for the power to come back, I guess. However, there you'd assume they'd have a backup generator. You'd think so. But at the same time, maybe they didn't plan for this. I think the rules state that if the game can't be completed because of power outage, then the home team wins up the Moana. Tell you what, that would be a bit of a plot twist, wouldn't it? And I know no power, says Hannah. Go get the fish and chips and leave the stream on and come back with your fish and chips, says Jordan. And ask mum and dad for food, says Tania. Yeah, well, depending on when this one ends, I may have to try and convince one of them to go get it for me. Which might be hard to do. You know what? Bring on Vic and Vern, says our underdog. What happens if the game is cancelled? Someone said that Moana would win due to being home field advantage, but I'd like to think that they would go, right, this was the score. But then the thing is, Moana may say, listen, we were just starting to make a comeback. So you can't just award it to the other team. Let us debate, says our underdog pick. Just go get your fish and chips, Hamish. I'll leave it a little bit longer, just in case it does end up coming back. Just one of your neighbours, if they can use their power. News Talk covers AB's matches. Is there a radio station that comments Super Rugby? I think there's a couple. Maybe on iHeartRadio. What happened? Anyone right? Says Tornike. So, yeah, power outage at the stadium. Who has the ball? No one at the moment. The stadium is in complete darkness due to a power outage. So, nothing's happened at this point in time until they can get that coverage back. I'd at least like them to have... Well, actually, no, never mind. I was about to make a really dumb statement, which was... I was about to say I'd at least like them to still be doing the commentary while they're having the power outage so that we know what's happening. But they don't have power, so it's hard to do that without power. Hey, Moana need to pay their bills. Hamish, what's up? How are you? I'm doing very well, Vic or Vern. One of the two of you. So hopefully you guys are doing well also. This is game till 1 p.m, says Mohadin. This game was supposed to be finished about now as a whole. Lowell says Bros Division. Chuck him on the bench as a reminder. They should play a game of Spotlight. Maybe they should just get a ball and stick a whole heap of torches on it. And then that's what they play with. Where are these two sides playing? Ridiculous. It's actually North Harbour Stadium, a location that they have done night games before with no issues whatsoever. I'm not sure what the reason for the power outage is. Stuff says lights are back on. Okay, well that's a slight bonus then. I think there's probably still going to be a wee while left. Not from India. Yeah, you're probably the same one that I called out before, aren't you? In terms of a secondary account. Is it raining at the game? I don't think so. I think it's actually all right at the stadium, or at least it was the last coverage that we saw. We have their massive flooding and infrastructure issues due to localised flooding, says Nate. And Warriors 10-4. What happened? The power went out at the ground. Look it up. Google's time frozen on 58th minute. Hey, chat, whoever will win. We should just be proud of them. Says Anita there. So the power might be back out. Sorry, I was about to win a bet. And something had to happen to stop that, says DCFC. We have got there white toast bread, lashings of butter, chips, waddy sauce. Well, other games you're doing this weekend. So we got the URC matches that I am hoping to cover, including all the South African sides, or at least a majority of. We got Super Rugby tomorrow, 3 matches. And then also some of the sevens coming up as well. 10-10, West Tigers just scored. So the Highlanders will win, right? They should. Yeah, this game would just about be coming to a close. As you can see there, we would be up to the 77th minute of this game had it not been a power outage. Then I put my money on the next game for power outage. Says Sock there. But still, we wait for the coverage. Which URC games you're looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Bulls Munster, but I want to see the Bulls do a lot better than we saw them do last week. Oh, sorry, want to see Munster do a lot better. Oh no, I read that one, didn't I? Will the game resume? I'd assume so. It seems like it's a little way away, though, unfortunately. What's wrong? Power outage at the stadium, so completely losing the coverage for Sky. There's a bit of entertainment for us Highlanders fans, though, says Jordan. Bulls versus Munster should be a cracker, says Ryan. And you're doing the URC, we certainly is. Who you got winning in that game? For Bulls Munster, I'd say the Bulls, but I'd like to see it be that little bit closer. Not long to go till Brumbies versus Waratahs. Now we're doing says Anita, and due to a game being in the second half, Highlanders will win according to Uncle CPT. Okay, so they would get the victory. In that case, the Landers. What do they do if the game can't continue? It sounds like it would be awarded to the Highlanders. Hi, bro. Remember me? I certainly do, Cooper. I remember you did some betting a couple of weeks ago. Suspense is killing me, says Shane. Yeah. I mean, do we say because it would have been 80 minutes in this game that this is where we call it quits? And then if they played the rest of it, then, you know, it is what it is. Someone has launched the stadium's light tower. Are there any new guinea pigs? The ones that were running the power wheel has died. Someone in the Highlanders turned the lights off because the Moana comeback was inevitable. Do you think Storm is going to win? They should do. They come in as quite heavy favourites in that case as well. Waiting for 2 point to win my bet. What will happen? I actually don't know what would happen with the bet side of things if this game was abandoned. Now, I'd like to think we're not quite at that stage yet, but I do think we're almost at the end of the stream, ladies and gentlemen. There's just no signs that would say that they're coming back right now. So it could be 20 minutes, it could be 30, it could be 2. But I think what's going to happen is we will give you the update of what happens at the end of this game on that next stream, which is taking place in the early stages of the morning, plus the 3 matches tomorrow for Super Rugby. It's unprecedented circumstances, but it seems like even if the lights are back on, maybe they're struggling to keep them on at the moment. Our game is going to be postponed. It might do. If they're not going to get this one going early enough, it may be all over. So nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. It's just come up as interrupted as well, so that's how you know it might be still a little way away. It will either be now, it will either be in 10 minutes, 15, but nonetheless, I think that's where we're going to end the stream. We will keep you updated about what actually happens here for the final moments of the game, probably on the Discord. I'll write a couple messages when it does get back underway. But yeah, nonetheless, 39-19. How this one was sitting, how much time's left. Still another 25 minutes once this game comes back. So a bit of a weird one. Stadium lights went out. They've been out for about now probably around 25 minutes or so. And they're waiting for the power to come back so that they can get back underway in this matchup. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for watching. We've got URC just around the corner. Sharks versus Cardiff in the morning. Alongside that, 3 games of the URC, 3 games of Super Rugby tomorrow. And then plenty more coming up throughout the rest of the weekend. Kia ora, Hamish. How have you been? I've been doing very well. This game is currently interrupted, though, due to power outage. So we're about to be heading away. And, yeah, we'll see what happens for the later stages of this game if it does get back underway. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for watching. And I guess we will see you all for the next one.